Hey guys, and welcome to the Funkykit Show live on this Sunday, the 25th of October. And it's episode 107, I believe. So yeah, we just got the stream live now, and we're making sure all the channels are up, including Facebook Live, Twitch, YouTube Live, and also Periscope, which will then go straight to Twitter. Okay, we have special guest Shannon Robb, who will be joining us to talk about a little bit about modding and what he's been up to lately with the tech world. And yeah, let's get cracking and see what we have in store for us. All right, here we go. Agenda. We have the news and announcements and updates on our Funkykit website, as well as AMD3D, our sister site. And then we'll bring in special guest Shannon Robb. We'll talk about modding and things like that. And then we'll do Rig Builder, our system configurator. And then we'll do some mods of the week from taken from the Extreme PC modding group. After that, we'll do a little break, and then we'll do a general chit chat with Shannon. We'll see what he's been up to and so on. And of course, we'll do the prize giveaway announcements on our website, as well as live prize giveaways. Our usual weekly live prize giveaways. I think we've given over well over $5,000 worth of stuff. And then we'll wrap it up with next week's preview. So that's what's happening. And let's bring in Rob. Rob, how are you doing? Let me just unmute you 1 second. I think we can do that. How can we unmute you? There we go. Right, Rob, I think you need to press unmute. Can you unmute? Here we go.
Let's try that. Does that work?
Yep. All right. So
I hate this program.
So Shannon Robb, tell us what you've been up to, who you are, what you do, and where you're from.
Hi, I'm Shannon. No, I feel like an AA meeting, dude. No, honestly, I've been around the industry for well over 10 plus years. I've worked in, working with chassis, working with new chassis design, all kinds of new product design, things like that from various companies. Presently, I actually just joined Be Quiet, a German-based company. We're focused on largely silence and quality focused products, which means obviously we don't release 1,000 cases a year. We more focus on a few finite products to make sure that we have something that will be something we'd be proud to put out. And so everything from cooling, power supply, fans, cases, everything, we pretty much look at it from the name implies. It's a silence focus. And then we also have a very strong quality focus. And that means that, you have a finite selection of options, but they're very finely tuned to match where their use case should be.
Yeah, cool. So you've been into the modding scene for quite a while. I remember back in the day when we first met you, I think it was back Computex or something like that.
I think it might have been either CES or Computex right around 2013, 2012 timeframe.
Yeah, a long time ago.
When I had joined at the time. I was at Thermaltake. I was there probably maybe half a year to a year, and I had started some really grassroots like modding stuff because I really enjoy like the way that we take PCs and we make them do things they're not supposed to do. That's been the heart of DIY PC since basically like the XT days. I mean, you've been around this quite a long time. So back in the day, we didn't have overclocking like BIOS. We had like jumpers, or we had solder crystals. Yeah, like we had like 8-bit boards back in the day. Most people don't even know 8-bit was a company or what it was, but we had boards where you had to before even jumpers, we used to have to solder crystals. Then it got into a point where people realized you need to be able to select what CPU. So you had to set your bus speed, and you had to do it with like a row of like 10 to like 30 jumpers. And you had to sit there and set them all in a different sequence to make it run the speed you want. That's the way. And I sound like an old man, but kids will never understand how crazy that was, that you had to set mechanical like switches.
That's right.
To set the speed of a system. That was when overclocking, like you legit didn't have like crazy high-end coolers. You didn't have like big Purrock coolers or anything. You had like these little silver heat sinks and stuff.
That's right. Yeah.
It just they were these little tiny things. I mean, you remember like slot A when they had like the AGP looking cards that went in like the CPU.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, that kind of stuff is cool. Like, but nobody knows that now.
Yeah. I mean, All the modding stuff is all to do with cooling, and cooling back in the day was basically when you overclock your chip and it produces a lot of heat, so you need the extra cooling, and the fans at the time, heat sinks, couldn't cope, so that's where water cooling started coming in. And back then water cooling didn't have like the AIOs, it didn't have the the nice tubing or the pumps, and it was all like stuff taken from a garage, or we had to like chop and change and mash it up, and
because you and I are on some of the same groups, you always see people, you can tell when they've been in this a long time, because one of the terms they use is the term pond pump. When you used to do water cooling, they had like little koi ponds that people would build like in their backyard. They had little ponds that you would pump the water around. So when people started doing PC cooling with liquid cooling, there were actually like legit tech sites like back in the day, like I think Petra's might have even, where they had like the Eheim like pond pumps. They were like stuff you get from like Lowe's or Home Depot. They would repurpose that stuff to work for like PC cooling, because nowadays you have it easy, man. I mean, EK, Alpha Cool, Bitspower, all these guys, they have like their own version of like a Lang D5 or like an MCP pump or something like that. They don't realize that people back when we were first starting this stuff, like that stuff didn't exist. People were making their own blocks. I mean, it's crazy because modding, everyone sees it like as cases. Yeah. Nobody realizes that modding started as ways to keep your system cooler. Yeah. Because back in the day, you had like one fan in a case, and that was it. Now so if you wanted more cooling, you had to like drill holes with a hole saw.
That's what I did. That's what I did. Yeah, that's what I did.
Yeah. And you had to.
Yeah, and then from there, the cooling extends into the modding parts where people add stuff to it, LEDs. RGBs, the fans, that kind of stuff, right? And then it just grew out of there, and it was just, I remember the first one I made, and it was, I think it was shipped from the US. It had a radiator, which I'd never seen before. It was crazy, like huge, and then it was a copper water block, and I named that PC Hydro X. Does that sound good?
that sounds a little familiar to recently.
Yeah, Hydro X. Hey, that was back in like 2000. So remember, I had the name first, right? Remember that Hydro X.
Too bad you didn't trademark that. That would have been perfect.
I know. And back in the day, the fan cooling was still quite good, and I remember the orbs. They had like fans. They had all sorts of weird cooling devices, but water cooling back in the day was really complex, really hard to use and fit and all that kind of stuff. And then later on, people now, they have like kits you ready to build. So that's a good thing. And also, if you can't be bothered with all the kits, bending the tubes and all that stuff, you can have the AIOs, right? And that's all in one. It doesn't look as nice as a custom loop, but it looks okay, especially the newer ones that comes out now.
And the performance is, I mean, like I had a friend who just recently, he had a 240 base custom kit that he had got, and the reservoir cracked. The reservoir where the threads go in cracked. It's common, but like acrylic. He had it for a few years, and I'm like, listen, just try this AIO. You might like it, the new Arctic one. And this was like a few months ago. And I was like, try this AIO, and we were trying different things. And I had gotten him onto an AIO solution. He goes, yeah, this is very, and I'm like, how's your temperatures? Is it running good, reasonable? And he's like, it runs basically the same. And I'm like, that's kind of what I'm telling you. Like, they're very efficient. Like, liquid cooling is efficient. But a lot of people think that liquid cooling is like so much better than air cooling.
Oh, no,
but in reality, it's basically the same thing. The difference is it just takes longer to saturate to that temperature.
Yeah, and it just looks better. It looks cool. It looks good, right? Well, with the water cooling. The
thing I like about liquid cooling is that you're taking that weight off the CPU, because how many times have you seen, remember, like loosen your cooler because memory stops working, things like that? Yeah. Like, it's crazy. By the way, I have to laugh because Alfred, I saw in the chat, Alfred says, make sure it has RGB.
See that?
Oh, dude, yeah. That's a board bender right there. That thing, thing will like.
Look at the size of it. Look at the size of this. This is a Noctua.
And that's the D15, and that's hanging off the socket. So that's
imagine
that's
this is
putting all that leverage on your board.
I know. I still use this though. It's cool.
Oh, dude, it's a great performing cooler. But this is funny because Alfred said make sure it has RGB, and I just kind of laughed because. When you think about it, bro, remember when we barely had like cold cathode tubes, like single color.
Oh, remember them? Yeah.
Back then, we didn't have RGB. Like RGB didn't even exist. I mean, it wasn't till maybe four chipset generations ago when motherboard headers started to become common. You didn't even have RGB on motherboards like that long ago.
That's right. Now you have like RGB boards, RGB RAM,
RGB everything.
RGB everything, right? Even RGB
RGB
mics.
RGB mic, RGB fan. You have RGB blocks. You have, dude.
Man.
Hey, you even have RGB cases now.
Oh yeah,
Like,
yeah,
you look-
yeah.
Be Quiet was the last one to get on that, I think, by the way, because
Oh.
we just released like a RGB case like last year with the 500DX,
Yeah.
or actually this year. We just released the 500DX. That's the only case from Be Quiet really that has RGB on the outside.
Well, the thing
The
is,
only other
a lot of
Yeah,
the
go ahead.
RGB stuff back in the day, it was just colors, and you have to, for example, if
Yeah.
you want a blue system, you have to get blue fans, blue lighting, blue LEDs, and that stuff, right? Now you just get the RGB fans or products, and then use your syncing program, which comes with the board, whether it's Asus, whether it's ASRock Polychrome, MSI Mystic Sync, or and you know, that kind of stuff, and you just program
Mystic
it.
Light.
Mystic Light, yeah, and then you just, and then you
It's
got
just Aura.
Aura, that's right, and then you got the Thermaltake. What's it called? I can't remember.
I don't remember.
Yeah, and of course the IQ, so you can use all of that kind of stuff to program those lights to do whatever you want, and it's just, you know, way much advanced and much better than before.
The only thing I wish everything had a standard, because one thing is, if you don't get the same brand of every product, sometimes they won't all sync together. And that's crazy, because that becomes, I've seen it when I was working, actually previous to this position, I was actually working at a system integrator for a little while. And one of the things we ran into was someone would be like, I like this cooler, but I like these fans, but I also want the RGB strips. And let's say you get like 3 pieces of software. Next thing you know, everything just goes to hell. It was just, everything went crazy.
It's like RGB overkill, right?
Oh man. And then the system, Windows is like, I don't know how to handle this. There's like 3 different types of products, and like, it's got 3 different software, and all of them are trying to talk, and it's just like ready to explode.
Great. Well, we'll actually talk more about that when we have a look at the systems taken from our Extreme PC and Modding group, and we'll do a little slideshow. We can talk about it and give it a rating. But before we do that, let's have a look at the website. So we've talked about some of the stuff that's happening on our website at Funkykit. So let's bring on that. And as you can see, right on our website here, we've got a couple of stuff.
Just so everyone knows, we didn't script this. We didn't talk about this stuff. So this is my first time seeing it too.
Oh yeah. So here we go. A couple of reviews that we've done in the past week. So let's click onto that, and you can see there's the HyperX Alloy Origins Core, right? RGB. This is a TKL? Yeah, 10 keyless. Yeah, 10 keyless.
10 keyless.
Yeah. So
by the way, I gotta say good day to the Australian mate right there, Aries. Aries 25 AU, I'm assuming, but the good day and the AU at the end, it's got to be Australian.
Australia, yeah.
Got to say hi to the people.
They're down under. I think they're like midnight now, right? Midnight or something like that.
Oh God, I don't know. If that's midnight, that's maybe I'm just old. But if you're up at midnight watching this stream, you're a dedicated dude. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks guys. Yeah, you're welcome. Yeah, thank you. So yeah, this review was done by Bart. He's actually based out in Poland. So
okay.
Yeah, lots of here you go, some red switches there, mechanical switches. You can actually replace this. I don't know what that. Oh, it's full aircraft grade aluminum body. Wow. All right, but yeah, so it's a TKL keyboard. I quite like it. It's got RGB in it, HyperX. It's okay, not too bad. You can actually get this on Amazon as well. All right, next we have the Creative Pebble version 3 Bluetooth speaker, desktop Bluetooth speaker kind of thing. Now, Creative have been around for many, many years. They're the ones that do the Sound Blaster sound cards, audio cards. And they kind of
long time ago.
Yeah, disappeared for a while. And then suddenly they came back up with, the X3, these speakers, the headsets, and all kind of stuff. So they're back into the game, and I'm hoping they'll be producing a lot more accessories over the coming months. Decent sound, it's okay. Bluetooth speaker, would expect. It's all right, not too bad. And this one, the cooler. This is a Silentium PC Grandius 3 EVO 8 RGB CPU cooler. What a name! But yeah,
damn, that's a mouthful. But I mean, it looks like. Let's be honest. It looks like a D15 clone. So
yeah, like the one
probably.
I have here.
Yeah.
Look at this one here, right? So yeah, it's got RGB fans. So look. You talked about that cooler, how big it was, right? And imagine it was vertical board, and the CPU would just
but that's my point. It creates that leverage. Now I got a question. When's the not trying to plug my own stuff here, but when's the last time you looked at a Be Quiet cooler?
Oh,
if it's been a while, let's talk after this. I think we got to figure this out.
All right. Okay. Here we go. So Silentium PC Grandius 3 EVO CPU cooler ARGB, and I think this was from last week. The Gigabyte ultra wide gaming. Oh. Yeah, I like this one.
That's a sick looking monitor though. I love ultra wides. They're just especially for the immersion aspect. If you get a good curve to it, and that looks like, what is it, 1800R or
1800 curve. Yep, 34 inch, 144 hertz. So it's a pretty decent monitor. I like it.
And is that one 1440 or 1080?
1440.
Okay, good. 3440 by 1440. Yeah. That's awesome.
Very nice. $350, so not too bad.
That's not bad at all. Yeah. When I bought my first one, I bought the Acer years ago, the X34, the Predator.
Yeah.
That was my first ultra wide, and I bought that for like $1,500.
Wow.
So look at the difference in price, bro. That's amazing.
So that's pretty much it for Funkykit website. If you want reviews, news, and hot tips, just check it out. All right, let's go over to
Winston hasn't been working enough. Look at this, man.
I've got some ranting review, actually. Yeah, I'll do that next week.
What's coming? Can you talk about it or no?
I'm building a system for a friend. So I've got some old PC parts. I'm going to build up a system. And I thought, let's get some cheap RGB RAM. But they're not too cheap. They're okay. It's just right here. We have, it's a Z390 board with...
Is that Team Group?
Yeah, T-Force.
Okay, yeah.
Delta R. Look at the logo on. Let me just bring up a big screen. You can see.
I actually, as soon as I saw the light bar, I pretty much knew what brand it was. I could tell by the visual.
Yeah, T-Force Delta R. The R looks very racing. I like that.
looks like some wannabe Civic Type R stuff, bro.
Yeah, so not too bad. I'm gonna build it and maybe test it as well at the same time, and then see how it goes. So let's move on to the sister site, AMD 3D. So, Shannon, I don't think you've heard about this because I already launched it earlier in the year. In fact, AMD 3D has been around more than a decade, and I kind of like shelved it for a while. And of course, I launched it earlier in the year, and knowing for the fact that AMD is going to be big this year, and luckily, I launched it in time, perfect timing. So here is AMD 3D, it's our sister site. It's all about AMD. Anything AMD related, CPU, or it's a Ryzen, Threadripper, Radeon, PS5, Xbox, anything to do with AMD.
Anything AMD, anything APU, doesn't matter.
Yeah, that's right. So here we're talking about some of the Radeon RX 6000, which is going to be announced next week. This coming next week.
28th, right? I think.
Yeah. And
you should live stream during the reveal so that you could talk about it live. That would actually be pretty fun.
That's right. Yeah. Oh, that'd be good. Yeah. So this is coming soon. Okay, it's not going to be as fast or big or better than RTX 3080, but hey, it should be comparable to at least a 3070, and who knows? It could even clock higher and run better. Who knows?
Well, we'll see. We'll see. The thing is, there's a lot to extrapolate from that.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, to see AMD to gain ground on NVIDIA is surprising.
Yeah.
I don't think they're going to pass them this generation, but I think they're going to get a lot closer. Which that's the thing. Like, look at what they did with Zen. Zen 1, it was a good step. It was a good step over FX. It was amazing. But it still was not close to Intel. But you know what? It was it was like a warning sign.
But the Zen 2?
And I think Navi, the first Navi, I think was that small warning sign. Now we're gonna see this is like their Ryzen 2000, but on GPU. So I think the next one is gonna be even closer. It's gonna be like right at there. And then, but remember, NVIDIA also hasn't been as complacent as Intel was.
Yeah.
So it's not gonna be as dangerous.
That's right. And check this out. I mean, this is quite surprising. This is a Ryzen 5 5600X, and it beats a Core i9 10900K in a single-threaded test. I mean...
Yeah, but that's because you got to think about it, bro. At the end of the day, 10900K, when you're talking single-thread, it doesn't matter if it's a 10-core, 20-core, it doesn't matter. They just are talking raw IPC. and IPC, they've got it on Ryzen 5000. I think is going to be very strong.
Yeah, I mean the price is just amazing. That's what I like about AMDs is that price is really affordable and reachable for most users. I mean, I remember only a couple of years ago when Intel released the Core X, and it was like $1,000 or $2,000. I mean, what the hell? What's going on? So Intel. Yes,
but once they this is what bothered me more than anything was once they had competition, all of a sudden their prices went down, and it's like, and that to me, that was one of those things where I'm like, wow. So basically what you're saying is you were hitting us for all this money because you had the market and no one was really competing with you. And then once they had a good competitor, then they throttled back the price to make themselves more competitive.
Yeah.
So this is part of the whole capitalism thing that you have to look at and realize. If you let one company get so far, ahead, like when AMD decided, when back with, let's say, like Conroe era, when they started kind of falling behind, that was when you noticed they were having some good generational jumps. Then once you got to about Sandy Bridge, it started kind of just like all of a sudden the performance, you remember, we were reviewing CPUs and you would get little tiny steps higher each time, but the growth was like gone.
I know.
But now look at it. Now again, you've got AMD pushing massive leaps over each year.
I mean, they're on 7 nanometer. They're working on 5 nanometer now. I mean, Intel, okay, fine. 14 nanometer still does the job, but when you talk about new technologies and how it's going to grow, I mean, is there much room for Intel to grow? Okay, they still make money from the server side and still make money through, the data center and stuff like that. But then for the end user, you got to look at the end user. It's what you're going to be using for gaming, for whatever, for desktop, for stream. People, I've seen a huge shift. People from Intel moving over to AMD. I was in the shop the other day and people were like, oh yeah, give me an AMD. I want AMD instead. I think, okay. It's like,
But see, that's a good sign, because that means that people are not, because when you see online, when you go to like, we know because we're in a lot of the PC groups, when you're in these PC groups, you see you've got huge fanboys and they stick strictly Intel or strictly AMD. And that's actually unhealthy for our community, because we should always be pushing for the best performance per dollar for everybody. And that's what AMD has been able to deliver. However, that same cadence may not always apply. We've got to wait and see. I'm really hoping that when AMD takes that top spot, they don't become like what Intel did, where they just became very complacent because they had the lead and they didn't push for those gains, because it benefits all of us if everyone is working their hardest to make it a really strong showing and to really grow that performance and what you're getting for your dollar generation over generation. Because you saw that happen as Pile Driver, Bulldozer, all that was failing. Intel kind of plateaued. They stopped pushing going up. They just kind of went straight.
Yeah.
They were just very small increases. And I don't want to see that happen again, because it's happened before.
Yeah.
And I'm hoping that we're now past that kind of mentality, and we'll continue to see this, because the jump even from Ryzen 3000 to 5000 is just insane. Like the level of IPC they showed, if it actually holds up to be real, which we'll see in the reviews coming out soon, is going to be insane.
I mean, they've also not just the processor technologies they've pushed, right? They've also included the PCIe 4. They've that kind of stuff, and it's all coming along together. I mean, you got the PCIe SSDs. I mean, the performance is amazing, those PCIe 4 SSDs.
Yes.
And then the graphics card, I'm sure AMD Ryzen and Radeon together, matching as a pair would be perfect as a complete system. So yeah, it's going to be great to see what AMD has in store for us this coming month.
Well, the other thing is these new PCIe 4 drives, like the initial Ryzen drives, topping out at 5 gigabytes a second was really good for sequential. But now when you look at, I'm sure you've seen some of the news coming out with Ryzen's new E18 controller.
Yeah. Oh my God.
They pulled like something like 1.2 million IOPS, which for a lot of people that doesn't make sense, but your system doesn't run on sequential speed all day. So it's very rare that you see that 5,000 or 7,000 megabytes a second transfer.
Yeah.
Unless you're transferring from that speed SSD to another SSD that speed. But what your system does a lot of is what's called low QD and a lot of random IO ops. And to see such high numbers in that lower category means the system's going to be much snappier, because That's one of the reasons that like Intel's Optane is actually quite one of the best drives, in my opinion, is because everyday stuff you do all the time, low Q depth, like 4K file transfers, like stuff that reading that your Windows does all day, every day. All that stuff is way faster on something like Optane. So seeing a NAND controller push those 4K low QD numbers is actually a very strong indicator that these new drives are going to be far snappier. And the sequential be damned. It doesn't matter. Sequential is great for showing, a marketing point.
Yeah.
But for everyday usability, it's going to be so much better.
That's sequential's really synthetic, really kind of benchmarks, right?
Yeah, but it's not something you're going to ever see. I mean, no one ever sees that really. Not in real usage unless you're just benchmarking.
Yeah, it's true. So we'll talk about that performance on drives later on. Okay, let's quickly move on to, all right, so AMD 3D. Again, if you have anything AMD related, news, reviews, topics, just check out AMD 3D, our sister website. Make sure you do. And we have competitions. I'll announce that later on in the show. Right, let's move on quickly to the rig builder. The rig builder is our system configurator, thanks to Yao, my brother, architect of this. He actually one who actually developed this, and we've been using it for a while. And I mentioned this in our show every day. So I think, Shannon, this is the first time you've seen it. So basically, it's a system configurator. So you got to do is input a criteria, for example, workstation or gaming. So we would go with the gaming, and they set a budget. So say $1,700 for a budget, and you select the CPU. Which one are you going to go, Intel or AMD?
I'm actually doing one right now. So
you want to go Intel or AMD?
We'll go AMD.
Go AMD. All right, and then NVIDIA or AMD graphics card.
Let's not make the fans angry. We're gonna go. Well, come on, we got to go NVIDIA right now. We don't have anything. Come on.
Okay.
Come on, we don't.
Is that good? AMD CPU and NVIDIA graphics card. All right. Okay.
Yeah, but I set mine for 4,000 because why not?
4,000. All right. How about 2,000? We got to be reachable for most people, right? All right. Hit submit. And what'll happen is it'll go to the Amazon to fetch prices based on your criteria, and it'll come up with a list of components best matching your criteria. For example, here we go. So processor-wise, we got AMD Ryzen 9 300X, which is basically the top one right now, or the 1950, but not many people get that. But the 3900 XT is the one, right? So I think I'll go with that. I'll stay with that.
Hey, I set the limit for 4,000. And under processor, it says the search did not return any products in this category.
That's right. Here we go. So it's still in beta. So if you feedback like yours would be valuable for us, because then my brother can work on that, right? But yeah, certain criteria, it will come up with a search not found. But on average kind of general kind of budget, I think it will come up. So we got AMD Ryzen.
Let me be more fair for the budget. I'll turn it down a little bit.
It's got some motherboards. Here we go. That'll match your CPU, which is a X570 or a B550. That's good. I think we'll stick with MSI one now, for example. Graphics card, we picked the NVIDIA. So we got 2060. I think we can bump it up to 2070. But if you don't like what's listed, you can actually go back and change it. Memory, we got Corsair. Go on.
It is worth mentioning that that a lot of people look at X570 like you have to have that. B550 is an amazing board.
Oh yeah.
It has almost everything X570 does. Just the chipset link is PCIe 3.
And this runs a lot cooler as well. B550.
Yes, because it doesn't have PCIe 4, so you don't have to worry about that.
Right. Graphics card, we'll stick with 2060. Again, if you don't want that kind of brand or the lower spec, you can actually pick a higher brand, higher spec. Memory, you've got Corsair. I think we'll stick with that. Solid state drive. We could go ADATA, for example. I don't know. Power supply, Corsair. That's fine. I'll leave it. Or maybe VGA. I'll select that one. And a case. Is there any Be Quiet? Hey, here's a chance. We can actually put Be Quiet on top here. Anyway, once you're happy with the list, you go buy now. I think we're going to change that button to say view products. So here you go. It gives you a list of the products you've actually selected. And if you're happy with that, then you can actually continue to go to the shopping cart. Now, if there's any products that's not listed or in stock, then it will come up down here, unavailable. So once you press continue, it will go to the shopping cart, and this is where you can buy. So this is a pretty cool tool. It's in-house kind of. My brother's actually programming it, but we're looking to build on it. And like I said, feedback like yours would be very valuable to us, so we can actually chop and change and add things to it. So yeah, Rig Builder is something that we wanted to give you guys, and hopefully you guys can support us and give us, feedback. Great. Let's move on to the next topic, which is with the.
It's time for mods of the week.
Yes, mods of the week. All right, here we go, Shannon. We're ready for the mods of the week. Are we ready? Let's click onto the page, and we have.
I'm ready, but I'm a little scared because I've seen some of the stuff in this group, and there's some talented dudes, so it's tough
all right.
to say.
Here you go. We could do a countdown. We could count down.
4, 3, 2, 1.
Here we go. All right, this one, like this one. What do you think?
That's really creative. This has been a thing recently. A lot of people have been chopping into the cases, like taking and splitting them open. So that's kind of interesting. That's interesting to see the unique approach people take.
Yeah.
I like the carbon finish on it. That's really, really good.
I like that too.
I haven't seen that one directly, so I'm kind of wondering, are those panels made of carbon or are they skinned?
Probably skinned.
Okay, because it looks like he made carbon panels, and that's surprising.
Yeah.
Like if he did that.
It's got the orange and black theme to it. It's got the MPG CPU.
I love that. I love that it has the monoblock, and I love that it opens up like a clamshell. That's really cool.
Yeah. So this is pretty unique. What would you give out of 10 for this one?
Oh, see, this is tough. I feel like this could be like. I don't want to set it too high because then I'm going to see something more awesome, and it's going to be a problem. So I'm going to give this one, let's say, an 8, because this one is really, really, really good, and that gives me some room to go up if someone's better.
Yeah.
Because I always hate.
Yeah.
I always want to see them all first, then give them grades, because like I feel like this one could be like a 10, but then again I might see something next that might be even better. So that's the hard part.
Yeah, I'm gonna give this an 8 as well. Yeah, it's got some nice PC components.
And see, look at that, the carbon tubing and everything. The theme.
Right.
That's one thing. A lot of people they will make a beautiful mod, but this one carries a theme all the way through.
Yeah.
I mean, the board, the carbon. Oh, look at this. See?
Look at this one.
This one has a good theme too. This is really good. But having the GPU air cooled, come on, guys. You've got beautiful liquid cooling, and then he runs the tube over the card.
Maybe he didn't have enough money, or there was no 3080 in stock.
I get it. That's totally. It's still badass looking, but this is one of those things where I look at it. You've got all this awesome, really good tube work.
Quickly,
and then the card's just chilling, and I'm like, come on, bro.
What's this out of 10?
I'm gonna give this one a 6. Oh, okay. So that one was a 6. This one,
it's got this one is I think is a Cougar case. Is that a Cougar case? I'm not sure.
I don't know. That doesn't look like the Cougar case, but he could have chopped it up. Because see, Antec Torque, Cougar, even Thermaltake, even Thermaltake did like a similar, like this weird open frame design. They did that THT 600, whatever, the one that looks like a helicopter. Wait, what? He's got like a controller for it?
It's a remote control. I've got one of those here.
Yeah, the remote power on thing.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. Yeah.
Interesting.
It's got the orange and gray. Normally orange and black, but it's got an orange and gray theme. Chrome tubing.
Okay. Yeah.
There's an Aorus Gigabyte board. There's probably an Aorus RTX in there.
But I want
G-Skill RAM, Gigabyte PSU.
But I want to see is that how much is the chassis actually modified? Because I see some Vixky stuff and things like that, but I'm not sure because I don't know which case that is.
Yeah.
Because one thing is, modifying the case, and I don't know how much of the case is actually modified. I would have to look at the original because don't get me wrong. Oh, come on. Don't put a case badge on it. No.
Case badge. It's got a Core i9 in there. Z490.
I know it's got a Z4. I know, but come on, bro. Like that breaks the whole aesthetic. I mean, honestly, this thing's a beautiful looking system.
Come on, out of 10.
I'm gonna say 6, maybe 5. I like it a lot. But this is my personal opinion. The case badge kills me. And second of all, the case looks if he actually customized and like made this case, then it's 11. But if that's an off the shelf case,
I think it's an off the shelf case.
Then it's probably more like a 5 or 6.
Maybe.
See, like, did you see the case badge? Even on the VRM heatsink, he has a Aorus case badge. like, don't get me wrong. I understand certain people aesthetic. They like the certain design. I think this one is very well done, but I feel like the case badges kind of nix it for me. And more than anything, I think this is just a beautiful build.
Yeah, beautiful.
As far as modding, it's for okay. Well, now we got
so
this.
Previous one, how would you give?
I would give it as 5, 6, 5 or 6.
Okay,
around there.
Right. What about this one? This one it's got the Asus board in there, ROG. It's got a ton of fans at the back. What for? Any ideas?
It might be radiators back there. I'm not sure.
It's got 3 graphics card in there, in an SLI probably, right?
No, that doesn't support SLI. Those are like 20 series cards. This would have to be for show because see, you could see the long connector, so it wouldn't support it. Yeah, those are like 2080 Ti's probably.
Just for show, right? Okay. I'll give us a 7. I'll give us a 7.
I'm gonna say 8.5 because it's got that rear mounted. You could see the custom side mount PSU. That's not very practical, but it's unique. It's unique looking. I can see the radiator, the triple on the like back top area because it's flipped. So I don't know, but yeah, I mean overall, it's really a nice, well done. This right here, that is badass.
This is a Doom. Yeah,
that Doom build. That right there, I would give like. I'll give it 8.5, 9 approximately.
I'll give it 8
because this really carries the aesthetic of modding the case. Like this is a full on, like you took everything, sanded it down, made it something different. Yeah, and I like that. That's really cool.
It's got the gunmetal gray, and it's got the gunmetal like he's actually made it as if it was.
But hold on, that picture you just showed, does it have a tube coming? It looks like the tube's missing out of the CPU block.
Yeah, it's kind of half built, I believe. It's not really fully. The case is fully finished, I guess. It's components. It's not actually complete. But yeah, it looks good.
It's beautiful. I can't fault this one. It looks beautiful.
Next one, this one here is a pretty build. The case, there's no modding on the case, but
yeah, I was gonna say it's got not a mod, but it's a beautiful build.
It's got a distro plate in there as well. It's got the chrome tubing, so it's not too bad. It's a nice looking build. Yeah, sorry about the quality of the video. There was
yeah, that's fine.
But this part is it's got the mirror effect inside as well.
It's really a pretty setup. I think it's a beautiful build. But once again, if we're talking mods, I would say it's a 5 or 6 again. I mean, if you don't have a mod on the case, it's kind of it's a cool build. I mean, they do have like the distro plate, so that adds some modding aspect to it, and I think that is really a cool looking setup. And I appreciate beautiful builds, and this is a beautiful build. If we were judging it by builds, this would probably be a 7 or 8. But as far as modding, 5, 6.
Well, this one.
This one, okay. This is more. This is more like modding for the sake of modding. This is legit pretty damn good. I mean, this is.
It's got this. What the hell is that? It's like a world kind of atlas.
It's like an atlas, like
global.
A globe, basically. But like, I'm trying to remember. There's a word for that, but I don't remember it, so that's fine. This is kind of like a steampunk build. This is nice.
Yeah,
I think they missed the opportunity to hit full steampunk by just dropping in like an ASRock board because they got that Tai Chi has a steampunk aesthetic. I think that would have been a beautiful tie-in. This looks like, what is it, a PCO11? I think. Yeah, it's oh wait.
Yeah.
Oh, we're switched to a new one.
What the hell is this? I don't understand this.
Yeah, I saw this. It's basically I think they 3D printed the bottom or something. I'm not sure.
Oh, I thought it was LEDs and stuff.
I saw this, and they're using some of the Corsair liquid cooling, like the block and stuff. I saw that. That's smart because it gives you that IQ control. That's actually a good plus.
Yeah.
I want to know, how did they light up the cable combs? Are those lit, or are they reflected? Are they reactive to the lighting?
Under panel, right? Underneath, probably. But I'll give this for creativity. I'll give it an 8. Yeah. Yeah,
for creativity and everything, I would say 7, 8. It's really I'm tied on that one because it's really, really creative. It has a unique aesthetic. This one just wholly red. This one is massively red.
This is red.
Very red.
You should see it.
It's a build, but it's not like necessarily a mod. It's a build, but it's a pretty build. It's a functional build, and that's something that a lot of people don't don't understand is
Oh yeah,
a mod doesn't have to be crazy. It
yeah.
can be functional.
There's mods which don't work actually. I see mods which are just for aesthetics, for looks.
They're
but
just
that's
for
actually,
display.
Yeah,
They're just for
but then
display.
there's mods and builds which actually function as a PC completely, and this is what it is. So,
And that one's probably a great gaming rig.
yeah.
Well,
Hey.
I mean, multi GPU. That's kind of doesn't. Well, that's another story entirely. But this is a very nice setup. I think this is a that one. As far as I'm going to give it once again, it's a good clean build. It's nothing super fancy. I'd say 5. As far as modding, if you're talking just a build, it's easily a 7 as a regular build. It doesn't have anything that really. It's a good build. It's something I would expect someone who has some good knowledge to build a solid, good gaming PC.
Yeah. All right then. Well, have a look at this and see what you think. Yeah, it just turns it on. And it's just red. What about this?
Yeah.
Hey, Shannon, what about this? This is what I built the other week. Oh, sorry, the other week. A couple of months ago, and it's a build. It's not a mod, but it's a mod in the sense I've repainted it. Hey, what do you think? Ooh.
Is that a Hydra or what is that?
It's not Hydra. It's one of these from Alibaba, kind of like
Oh,
but it's
but dude, you made that work good, and that's okay. That's it looks good. At first, I saw the TT logo. I'm like, what the hell? Where did that come from? I'm like, I don't remember that one.
No, man, it's a power supply, and I just took the logo and stuck it on there actually. But
no, that's functional. That works.
Yeah,
I mean, I
works.
don't see a problem.
And I've got a space there for a graphics card, so I could actually put in whatever. I want a short one. Yeah, I want a short.
Whenever you finally find stock of an RTX 30 series.
Oh God, yeah, yeah, a mini one if I can find one. Yeah.
If they make one, I don't know if there is a mini 30 series yet.
That'd be good if you had one. Yeah.
Oh man, if you had a mini 3080, imagine that much like performance in like an ITX system would be amazing.
Yeah, that's what I exactly want in there. All right, so what do you think of the mods of the week for this week then, Shannon?
I think there were some really good ones. I also think there were some solid builds in there. I think overall, I'm just excited to see that, something that's been going for so long, modding, PC culture, the fact that we're still have it going, because my worry was that people would get bored with it and they just wouldn't embrace it like they do now or like they did. And I'm happy to see that it's still growing. It's still a thriving community, because that's one thing I love is to see people make a PC and not just make an off-the-shelf PC, but make it their own, make it a unique thing. That's important for guys like us to continue doing what we're doing.
That's right.
If we don't have that passion, if we don't have that capability to build this crazy stuff, then what are we going to do? The whole market just kind of dies.
Yeah.
I'm glad to see that people still have that fire, the passion to build it really strong and to make it really pretty.
Oh yeah. Definitely into modding, because that's what. I mean, for me, I build 2 systems a year, one at the beginning of the year and one towards the end of the year, and I'll see if depends on what mood I'm in. I might do some custom loop. I might just do a simple build, a nice looking build, So it all depends. Yeah, it all depends. All right.
And there is no bad build. That's the thing that I want to be really clear about.
Yeah.
Like you can build just a basic build. Like one of the questions I'm sure you get, and I know we see it in the groups all the time, is, should I upgrade to this card? Should I upgrade to that card? The first thing I tell people is, you know what? If it plays the games you want to play and it does a good job, then you know what? You don't have to, unless you really want to, because so many people think as soon as something new comes, they have to upgrade.
Oh no!
You don't always need to.
Hey, Shannon, I'm still using a 1070 Ti in my streaming rig right now.
But it does the job. It does the work you need.
Yeah. All right. Okay, so that's great. Let's have a look at the chat, see who's online. We've got Caden, hi, how are you doing? And Black Suit 666, Arius 25 you mentioned earlier. So yeah, all these people online, that's great. And then later on, we're going to do some live prize giveaways, so be sure to join. And of course, you got to be in it to win it, right, Shannon?
Yes, you absolutely do. If you're not here, you don't get it.
All right, okay, so we'll do a quick 5 minutes break. And we'll be back after this little intro / kind of video that I did early in the week. So yeah, we'll be back after this video. So yeah, have a break. See you later. Hope you enjoyed that. That was a quick video of what we've been up to and what we actually do at Funkykit and AMD 3D. All right, Shannon. So we're gonna do a quick live prize giveaway, or we're gonna do a general chat. You decide.
I have one quick question.
Yes, go ahead.
You did that. You just showed that video, and it showed you putting a motherboard in a case. I saw you make the classic building mistake.
What's that?
You didn't put in the IO shield, bro.
Oh yeah, that was just a test case. That was just a test case. They'll actually build a system. You know me, I just test things. I just put it in the case. Just test it.
Oh, dude. I just laugh because I've done that so many times. Like I'll put it in,
and
then I'll look at the accessory box and I'll be like, "Damn it!"
I know, nuts.
Especially with hard tube, it's like, no!
Oh yeah, no. With hard tube, that's like, oh my god, you have to take everything.
That's like
apart.
disaster. That's like disaster.
All right, so I think we'll do a quick live prize giveaway, right? There we go. Let's do this. That's right. So live prize giveaway, and we have a Funkykit T-shirt to give away. Let me see that there, right there. Let me do a big screen so you guys can see. We're gonna give away a Funkykit T-shirt in a large size, very nice, navy blue. Nothing in the front, so you can actually print your own logo in there if you want, or embroider some stuff. But yeah, large Funkykit T-shirt. And all you have to do right now is type in the chat, and what shall they type in the chat, Shannon? You decide. What are you gonna do? Normally I say, type in "I love Funkykit" or "I love whatever," something that they can have a little bit more interactivity. What are they gonna do? What are they gonna type in the chat?
I love Winston's hair.
I love Winston's hair. Type that in right now in the chat, and you'll be in for a chance to win this lovely Funkykit T-shirt right now. Yes. See that right there. Funkykit T-shirt. I love Winston's hair.
Chat. Don't make me win it. Come on. It probably doesn't fit me. Come on.
Here you go.
We got one. We got one.
Right. Lost Trooper says, "Yep." Lost Trooper. Fast Boy 2. Areas.
The Australian did the alternate love spelling too. That's got to be extra points. Come on.
LOLUV.
Mr. Caden is the best. Okay.
we have Mr. TV 001. I love Winston's hair. I know you do, but you also love the Funkykit, right?
Sure. Grandparents. I hope that's legit a grandparent. If that's a grandparent, that is awesome. I love grandparents. I love Winston's hair. If that's actually, I'm dead serious. That would be awesome.
All right. So I'll give a minute or two for you guys to type in "I love Winston's hair," and whoever. What we'll do is we got a scrolly button on my chat. You guys won't see it. And what I'll do is I'll scroll up and down wherever the mouse lands after a count of 5, a countdown of 5. Wherever the mouse lands, you are the winner. So that's basically it. So we do this every week, Shannon, and we've been giving away mouse mats, mice, keyboards, T-shirts, USB pens, everything. And we're actually giving away Amazon gift cards as well, from like $200, $150, $100. So basically, it's just to give back to the community because, of course, they're supporting us and stuff like that, and it helps them if they want to upgrade their PCs or just use it for general grocery shopping, I guess. But yeah, we do that every week, and so next month we'll probably do another big Amazon gift card. I love Winston's hair. Type that in the chat right now, and you'll be in for a chance to win this great, lovely T-shirt.
Mike Petrin's in here with us. Another awesome modder.
Hey, mate, yeah, Mike is actually joining our show next week. So,
nice.
Yeah, so we booked him for next week, and he'll be joining us, and then we'll talk about modding and more stuff like that. And so
you want to talk modding? That dude does some amazing work.
Yeah. MP Customize, right? Is that his page?
I think so. Yes, I think so. But the thing is, this is something where maybe you and him can even talk about if he's up to talking about it. I don't know if you saw. Did you see the new Avengers? The new Avengers mod that's getting started. The project by Intel.
Oh, I haven't seen it. No. What's it like?
Okay, I'll link you over the video. No, they just started the teaser video for it.
Oh, right. Okay.
They've got Dave Alcock. They've got like random designs. They've got Ron Lee Christensen. They've got a lot of very talented people, and that's the type of group that like that's the level of like modding capability that like I see from like the guys that just are like smashing it, just like Mike Petrins. Not just the modding, but I've actually hung out with him like in Taiwan when we were in I think it was at Computex actually, Mike. We hung out, and he's such a like genuinely awesome dude. He's a really cool guy to hang out with.
That's
He's
right,
a good person. He's just all around a really good guy, and that means more than anything when you're in this business.
He also does a lot of laser cutting, right? So
he does a lot of crazy work, dude.
So imagine for modders, right? You can probably just maybe do a little bit of cutting out and stuff like that. But he actually does a lot of laser cut and modding and stuff like that. So his mods just looks super. His
are really clean.
Mm.
I'm trying to find the video for you real quick so I can send it to you.
Yeah, sure. All right, actually, we're going to do a countdown. So you guys could be able to win this lovely Funkykit t-shirt. And here we go. We're going to do a countdown in 5.
This week's live prize giveaway. 3, 2, 1.
And we have a winner. Oh, Aries 25 AU, you are the winner. Oh, amazing. Look at that. Hey, well done. Did you get a clap? I'll give you another clap. And awesome. Well done. All you need to do right now is to send me your shipping address, telephone number, of course your name as well, to media@funkykit.com. So let me type that in the chat, so make sure you don't send to the wrong address. Your full name and shipping address, as well as your telephone number at media@funkykit.com. And we'll ship it out to you as soon as we can. And congrats. All right.
Winston.
Yeah.
If you look at Bookface Messenger later, take a look at that video. It is really good.
In fact, I'll do it right now. Let me just grab that. Here we go. There's our link. That is a link. And,
yes, it is.
All right. Let me see if I put it on the main page right here, and you guys can then take a look and do a full.
Sorry, guys, I'm ruining his stream because now he's gonna try to put this up.
No, it's good. It's good. We can go to the website here. All right. So this is the one you're talking about. Let me see if I can expand it a little bit to a theater mode, so you guys can see.
Yeah, this is like the introduction. This is like the first part.
Yeah.
This is like the intro to the whole idea. Are you playing the audio for them as well for this?
Shall I? Yeah.
Might not be a bad idea because the thing is, this is a few minutes, but this is the artist.
Over the years, I've done a lot of different things to take my work into pop culture in new ways. Intel, Marvel, and Square Enix have come together to work on this amazing new Avengers video game. Intel came to me and asked me to create a bunch of art to promote this project. What's going to happen next is that art is going to be a direct inspiration for these PC modders who are going to be creating one-of-a-kind modded PCs inspired by my art. I've never had this kind of collaboration happen with my work before. The whole modding aspect of this is going to be crazy. I've always loved the Avengers deeply. When I was about 12, I met Stan Lee for the first time. I fell deep into the rabbit hole of the Avengers and comic book art. There's an element of dramatic lighting. You know, there's tiny little details that have to be in there. It's a lot to digest. That aside, you gotta work. The way I approached painting each character was in anticipation of using elements in not just the ensemble, but each individual poster. I was painting Captain America, Black Widow, Iron Man, and Hulk simultaneously. With a lot of these characters, a big challenge when painting by hand is maintaining the likenesses. That's a really hard aspect of using spray paint. With the Avengers, there's always this theme of good versus evil, and all of them coming together to conquer impossible circumstances. That was a big theme in how I wanted to portray them. Each poster features a straight-on shot of the character with their super and human versions.
That's pretty cool.
Working on a Marvel project is so monumental to me and so.
Oh no.
full
See,
circle
this is they're
that
about to
it's
announce what modders
too
are doing
big
what.
to grasp sometimes for me.
He's just the artist, right?
He's that conceptual artist you saw that did all the custom stuff. That
Oh, these are the modders.
Nice to meet you, dude.
yes.
Welcome to this crazy project. Are you guys excited about this?
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah. Oh, it's not every day you get to work with Marvel.
You guys are going to basically make some mods inspired by my art, and I don't know how hard that is for you to do, but I imagine it's a pretty big challenge. Okay, Ethan, you're going to be working on Miss Marvel and Iron Man. Stefan, you're going to be working on Thor. You're also making a mod inspired by my Black Widow art. The two of you together are both going to be working on the Hulk. You're also going to be working on Captain America. How do you feel about that? Are you excited?
Be able to work on one of my favorite Marvel characters and Avengers characters is a dream come true. The way your work is laid out, I want to be faithful to that.
I want to focus on the video game aspect. I can't wait to start.
It's definitely a pretty epic project. Thanks for the opportunity, Matt.
I hope it all goes well. I wish you luck.
Okay. Now that that's over, I just want to say, bro, like these guys, they're like those modders.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a huge amount of them. Like Mike Petrus could easily fit in that group. Like there's levels of modding to me, and I'm not trying to disrespect anyone that doesn't do this kind of quality work.
Yeah.
But the fact is, it's like artists. You know, you have artists that make paintings that are $200-300, and you have artists that make $1 million paintings.
Oh yeah.
These are the type of stuff that there's a reason companies will pay you and to build it. And this is the kind of stuff that really is exciting, because this is the kind of thing where you can see truly what happens when you unleash an artist to create a crazy palette.
That's right.
And being
yeah.
Marvel such a strong part of what we do as tech geeks and stuff. Like, you know, we are comic book guys. We are involved in all this stuff. So, and we love the comics. We love the movies. So having this tie in with case modding is really awesome. And I'm excited to see it. And they've got some great people doing it. So this is going to be really awesome.
Yeah. And people don't realize that modding is not just geeks modding their PCs for performance or extra coding. That's all. Yeah, you get all of that as well. But then it is a work of art. If you can get a good mod that, you know, from scratch build, for example, I mean, the ideas that you come up with and how it actually comes together is just amazing. Something that comes out of this guy's head, you know, an idea, and it just brings up, you know, some crazy mod. Yeah. So it is not artwork, really. So
it's across the board. It's functional art that just, you could tell, like, and that's the thing, like we were discussing, like Mike in our chat, you could tell his clean aesthetic style, the way he builds. Like, you can now that you've seen some of his mods, when you see a new one come out, you don't necessarily need to know it's him. You have a pretty good idea just by seeing it that it's something he's created.
Yeah.
And that's something that, you know, when you create that kind of design, that kind of aesthetic, that's a hard thing to do, that you can actually be recognized. And that's why, like, when I saw Mike in the chat, I'm like, hell yeah, you know, this is awesome. We're sitting here discussing mods, and we have one of the guys that does something I wish I had the capability to do.
Yeah.
It's just, dude, if I could do that, bro, I would totally do it. But I can barely draw stick figures. So I'm not trying to build these crazy mods, because that's not my thing. I can't do it.
Yeah, I mean,
and that's crazy.
That's right. You get the artist does all that kind of stuff, and then you got the guys like me. I want a nice PC. I might want to hang it on the wall. I might want to, like, put it, you know, like what you do with like 5 screens, that kind of stuff. But yeah, I mean, it is not just a boring PC. You can make it the way that you want it and how you want to put it in, you know, to match your interior, for example. I mean, I've seen PCs which you look at it, it's part of the decor. You know, and there's others when you go into a game room, the man's cave. You see those man's caves? Oh my god, it's just RGB everywhere.
Some of them are amazing, bro. And the thing is, there is no right way. Everyone has their own way, and that's what I appreciate. Is, you know, just like cars, you see people that maybe just put wheels on their cars. Then you
that's
see
right.
people put body kit. You see people put like, like custom performance editions, like whether it be, just headers or whether it be like full supercharger or turbocharger setup. There's different levels of what people go through, but
Yeah.
they're like to make their own piece of what is emblematic of them.
Yeah.
And that's like when I see you build a system, I can tell that's a Winston system. That's something that that's something, bro.
That's true. That's true.
I mean that in an endearing way. In
Oh, yeah,
reality, you build it in a certain way that's functional, pretty, it works, and it's just something that fits your theme, your style.
Yeah.
And that's what I love
true.
to see with modding. These
Yeah.
guys build crazy systems that perform really well. Most of them, except like the showpieces that don't function. But the ones that function, they're highly functional. They have a very unique design ID that you look at it and it's beautiful. It's something that I think anyone can appreciate for a certain aesthetic. And a lot of them just kick ass. They're awesome performance systems. And that's what's great to see.
Yeah, definitely. So,
And that's one of the things I'm going to be working on for Be Quiet. I'm actually going to be working with people like.
Yeah, exactly what I was going to mention now that you mentioned that building a PC. You're going to be building one, right? Soon?
Oh, I've built tons of them. I'm going to be rebuilding soon. There's a certain chip launching very soon that I'm going to be rebuilding.
Okay, so maybe in our next when you're free, in our next chat or stream, maybe you can give us an update on the build that you'll be doing, or maybe some.
Oh well, I'm not okay, but just understand, just to set expectations for everybody. I'm not like I'm not a fancy artist guy, so it's probably gonna be just brightly lit and like kind of good looking.
I see a lot of people now. When they do the side panels, where there's either tempered glass or one side is not tempered glass. A lot of people are using decals, right, just to cover one side, and some of those decals look really nice. It's like the old way used to be. Oh, they sand it down, they smooth it out, they spray paint it. But of course, if you're not an artist or you don't have the time to spray paint the design, you can just get decals that kind of cover the side panels. So if you're a simple modder or a beginner, then that's an idea which you can look into. Like just buying decals or the design or graphics, whatever, and just kind of like put it on the side of the side panels. So that's what I did with one of my mods. So it looks all right too.
Well, it works. That's the thing. It's like, I mean, there's not a lot there to really. You don't have to go crazy. That's the part that I want a lot of people to understand. Is you don't need to do some crazy off the wall thing. You just, if you make it and you're happy with it, it doesn't matter what anyone else thinks. If everyone else likes it, great. If they don't, who cares? I mean, like me, my system's not the most beautiful, but you know what? I love it. It works for what I need it for.
Yeah, it's true. All right. That brings us to the next prize giveaway. We've got 2 every show. So this one is something quite unusual. It's a Dell USB-C mobile adapter. Have you seen one of these before?
I have no idea what that is.
So basically, it's it's not even opened. It's a portable dock with VGA out, HDMI out, LAN port, USB 3, and you can use that then to, for example, if you have a laptop that you move around, and it works with PCs and I believe Macs as well. Look at it. Look at the. If I can focus, Here we go. Focus.
Too much light. Yeah, okay, I can see. Yeah. So you could hook your mobile phone to like external. It's almost like a dock for your phone.
Yeah, it's a mobile dock. Yeah. So
okay.
So it's made by Dell. I'm not sure how much it is, but yeah, we're gonna give one of these away. So guys, here you go, Shannon. What do you want them to type in the chat? Something. Here we go. Just for next week's show with Peter.
With Mike Petrus?
Mike. Next week's show with Mike, we're gonna type in what's his page? It's MP customized, right?
I think it is. Hold on.
Yeah.
MP customized.
There you go.
Here, I'll give it to you so you can type it in the chat.
All right.
So that people can give him a visit.
That's right.
Because I think he deserves that. You should go see his stuff so we understand. Because also that will give them a chance to study up on what he does, so that then they can give him a hard time when he's on your chat next time.
Here you go. Here we go in the chat. So visit the page. Is that the one? PC. Is that the one? Yeah. MP customized. That's the mic. And for that, I want you to type in, I love MP customized. How's that? Just to get him all hyper for next week.
That sounds good to me. Yep, that should be all good. I was double checking to make sure before we go blasting it out there. It was him. I was looking at the email to make sure.
Here we go. Here he is. MP customized. This is it. Look, is that all laser cut? That must be all laser cut, right? That background?
I think it is all laser etched, yeah.
Wow, nice. Yeah, I love MP customized. Mike, I've given you a big heads up for next week. MP customized, guys. Oh, the chat's coming through. Lots of chat, lots of MP customized.
Oh, that's good. That's going to be a lot to pick from. Holy crap, that's quite a few people.
Yeah, I think everyone's Caradin CS. We have Black Suit 666. Onikize. We have TV Tombs. T1 Myrick. APS Switch. All right. Oh, these guys are from Twitch. I can actually see.
And the other. I could see the other ones. I could see where they're coming from. I could, because it shows, man, there's a lot of people that really want to give Mike some love and really want to win that phone dock. I didn't know that device existed. I'm actually looking that up, actually.
Yeah.
Because I never knew that was a thing.
I'm not sure if it's a phone dock, but it's definitely work on a PC. I know that. But hey, it's free. Why not? And it's not even opened, so. Yeah, it's a USB-C mobile dock. That's what it says. Mobile dock as in... Yeah, portable dock, I guess. It's got the... Oh, DisplayPort 4K. VGA, HDMI 4K. LAN port, USB-C, 10 gigabits, USB-A.
I found it. Okay, yeah, I found it. Holy crap. Okay, see, I misunderstood. I thought it was like mobile phone. No, that actually will that'll actually... like connect to a phone, like not to a laptop. Yeah. So like if you have a laptop with like Thunderbolt, I'm looking right now to be sure, but I think, damn, that's actually pretty crazy.
Check all the connectors it has.
I'm looking at it. That's nuts.
Okay, guys, remember, I love MP customized, and you can check out the link and visit the Facebook page where Mike resides. And you can check out some of his mods. He got some crazy mods in there. Look at these. Oh my god. Oh, look at these. These are the Computex and CES editions, right? Wow, look at that. He's got some nice videos as well. Wow. Yeah.
Wow,
nice.
So we have a lot of people to choose through, bro. Damn.
Yeah, I'm gonna roll my mouse up and down and wherever the mouse lands. All right, are we ready? I think we're ready, right? Here we go.
I think we're pretty good.
All right, so we're gonna give it a clap, and this is the
prize giveaway.
And we're gonna do a countdown.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
And we have a winner. Yes, it's Mr. TV Tunes. Mr. TV Tunes, you are the winner. Wow. I think he's actually won quite a lot from us lately. Yeah, well done, Mr. TV
from
Tunes.
From YouTube. Sorry, I had to see where he was from because I couldn't see it. I was looking to make sure.
Remember to send in your email address, shipping address, telephone number, and of course to media@funkykit.com. Let me just type that in. media@funkykit.com.
And be sure to give Winston a little bit of love for, giving you guys all this cool free stuff too.
Oh yeah, every week we've got some new stuff. All right. Yeah, I'm really excited for next week actually as well, because we can get Mike and he can talk about some of his mods that he's done, and he can give us an insight.
And that's the thing. Yeah. Mike is a very talented case modder, and so he might be a very good one to help you with next week the judging of the mods of the week.
Oh yeah,
I think because he
yeah.
has a very unique he has a very unique perspective on that, being that he's involved in it. So it'll be interesting to see his point of view on the mods you have next week.
Yeah, we'll do a mods of the week, and we can actually bring up some of his comments and advice. So if you're into modding, or if you're just a beginner, then of course we can get some advice from Mike, and you can ask you questions on the chat about some of the stuff that he's been doing, and some of the stuff that some ideas that you have. And of course, advice, because one of the major problems with modding, especially with custom loop, is leakage, and how to prevent leakage, and how when or not to do the tubing correctly and stuff like that. So yeah, it's all part of the modding experience.
I think a cool discussion with him, honestly, would be to ask, like, what does he do to prep a loop before leak testing? What does he do to clean the parts? What does he do to prep everything so that, and what precautions does he take to better ensure he doesn't get leaks?
Yeah. I had to flush out the system. I do like a once it's all built, I just put some kind of distilled water just to flush it through, because you never know, you have like little parts, little like particles.
You have a little bit of flux and things like that from building it. Sometimes they don't get fully flushed out. I've had that. I've actually had that on a few loops before. Yes. I pre-flush all of my radiators and blocks and stuff, but I still sometimes run into where after the loop gets warm and cold a few times, you start to get like the water will discolor. And that's just because I've become a lot more stringent about pre-cleaning everything, because I don't like to do that, because I'm worried about stuff getting stuck and gunking the blocks up.
Okay, true. All right, this is a question. Aluminium or copper, which one do you prefer?
For what?
Like the builds, like whether you prefer aluminium radiators, aluminium or copper.
I try to avoid that whenever possible. When I was working at Thermaltake, we did some things to try to make the aluminum a lot easier to work with, but at the end of the day, there's only so much you can do, because as far as metallurgy, and I'm going to bore some people because this is very technical science stuff, but basically there's what's called an anodic index. So you have you have water heater, right? Like for your house. Yeah. There's a thing called an anode. It's a little piece of metal that goes in the water heater, and that piece of metal is designed to be eaten up by the corrosion, so that your water heater doesn't like blow up. Well, the same thing happens whenever you have like a loop. If you have a metal that's too far different, it will cause it to, you get like electrolysis in the water, and it will start to eat away the metal. So I always try to stick with copper, nickel plated copper, and obviously brass fittings, because copper's too soft to do like the threads. So every radiator has like brass for like where you cook the G and a quarter fittings, but those are close enough. You still can get corrosion, but it's far lower. So it's easier to mitigate.
So copper would be the I'd say best, but better for custom loops.
Copper would be the ideal one. Copper. Now, when it comes to AIOs, I've seen people say, "Oh my goodness, they use aluminum radiator." That's not a big deal, because you're not adding parts to those AIOs. When you have an AIO that's aluminum radiator, and it's like Azatec, Abletec, or like Coolid or whatever, it doesn't matter, because you're not able to change those or add more parts that will corrode. So they design that with the fluid that will protect it. But if you have, like, good example, like Alpha Cool, they make the AIOs where you can add stuff to, but it's not an aluminum AIO, it's copper. So you don't have to worry about it. But you do want to look at that. Always be cognizant of if it is a cooler that you can add parts to, make sure all the parts are similar quality.
Exactly.
Like that's why I think like EK, they just recently announced that they are no longer offering the fluid gaming, the aluminum kits. They're not offering it anymore. They're only offering it in their pre-built systems. And I think that's smart, because when you give a consumer aluminum parts at a better price, they might not pay attention to the warning, and they mix those metals up, and then you start getting all that nasty corrosion, and that's just bad.
Right. So basically, you don't want to mix metals together. So if you can't have like a radiator with aluminium and a copper block and stuff like that, all mixed up different metals, right? So you don't like do all same metals. It'll be easier. Okay, got it. I got it. So here you go, some advice, you guys. And Mike will probably have better, even more advice on some of the stuff, and we'll talk about that next week. All right.
Trust Mike more than me. Trust Mike more than me, especially with modding. Trust Mike more than me.
All right. Let's have a look at the existing or the competitions that we have on our website. So we quickly go to the website right now, and then we have a look at the website. If I can bring it up, here we go. Right now on AMD 3D, we have two prize giveaway. Right, here we go. Prize giveaways. Here we go. And first one is the ASRock B450 ITX motherboard. So now people think, oh, that's an old motherboard. Why do you want to give that away? Well, it's free, so why not? Plus, existing 2000 and 3000 series will fit on this. And also, there's rumors that it might, with a BIOS update, could take the 5000 series. So why not, right?
But overall, it's a good board. I mean, that's a badass board. Don't get me wrong. It's not like oh my god, the craziest board in the world. But I mean, that for like a small form factor build with something like a 3600X is an amazing value definitely for the board. That's awesome. Yeah.
So we got that to give away, and we also have this one, which is pretty decent. It's a fairly new one. It's a ultra durable B550M motherboard. We have it right here. I think it's right here. There you go.
And that one will support guaranteed Ryzen 5000.
That's right. We're giving one of these away.
And it doesn't need active cooling on the chipset because it's B550, so it doesn't use as much power.
Yeah, that's right. So we got one of these to give away, and all you need to do is visit the website and follow the instructions. I think it's you need to go to GiveLab. You need to like our page, give us a visit, watch a video and stuff like that. So go and check out the website. And that's the two prize giveaways we have for the AMD 3D site. And for Funkykit, same thing. We have another board. Let me have a look. Here we go, prize giveaways. It's the same board, so we have two, one for each site. And why not? Just go and give us a like, watch the video, and you'll be in chance to win one of these. So the closing date for this is actually next week. So we could announce the winners in our next week's show with Mike. And so this is to give away. We got 3 to give away actually. One on the other site, which is the Chinese site. But so why not? Okay. So I think that's pretty much it for this week's show. Do you have anything to add, Shannon?
Yeah, just be sure to stay tuned, guys. Hopefully I'll be back on here sometime soon and have some cool new products we can show. Maybe even work something out with you, Winston. Maybe give away some cool Be Quiet stuff here in the future.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, and if you have any like live or even pre-recorded builds that you're going to be doing, we can actually show people what you've been up to. For example, you could be building something pre-recorded, and we can play that video live so that people can comment, and then you can actually give comments on stuff that you've been doing. All right. I'm
trying to be really careful because there's a lot of cool stuff coming up that like I've got to be careful not to talk about until it's ready because there's some NDA stuff that I almost said it like 2 or 3 different times. And I'm like, no, stop. I was like, hey guys, we got this cool. Oh wait, nope, can't say that yet. We've got to wait for like virtual CES and all this stuff because next year, let's face it, there's probably not going to be many expos. So
we're quick. Actually, we can spend the next couple of minutes just talk about the virtual stuff, and then we can close the chat, the stream. So virtual. How do you think about the virtual? Have you had it? Have you done any? And what do you think?
I've done some virtual stuff as far as I've done virtual product briefings. I've done a virtual expo, and along with some stuff that wasn't necessarily like regular end user, but like B2B stuff. Mm-hmm. And it's interesting because the engagement's really different because instead of having people like, when you're at CES, you rush from like hotel to hotel or whatever to get to each person.
Oh God, yeah, I remember. Yeah.
Here it's digital. So you just show up, you talk to people, whatever. I think it's also relieves some of that because some especially like, when you're talking like media and whatnot, sometimes you get really nervous to talk to a bunch of people. This makes it a lot easier when you're behind a screen. It makes it a lot easier to do.
All right. So give me an idea of how it works. Say for a book the time at 11 a.m., right? So that time for 1 hour, it'll just be me and you. Is that right? There won't There won't be any other crowds or any other people butting in and stuff like that, right?
It really depends on how it's set up because each event's going to be a little different. If it's an event where you have, let's say, 600 people that are going to be attending, then it might be that you do it in sessions or groups where you talk to a group of people and you take like a live chat it really depends on how the event is laid out. I think virtual CES is still being worked on.
Yeah.
I think it's one that we will see probably over the next couple months starting to take shape, because people were really waiting to see, and then CES basically said, hey, you know what? We're not going to be having an actual in-person event for 2021. So I think this will be a very good trial of it to see what happens, because Computex, as you know, pretty much got canned.
Yeah.
Didn't do virtual event or anything.
Mm.
So I think next year they're going to try really hard to do a live in-person event for Computex. I'm not sure yet, but I don't think it'll work out, just because of, look, right now we're getting more of these virus cases and stuff. It's tough.
Oh, it's all
so
over the place,
I think we're gonna have virtual events for probably at least the next 12 to 18 months. And that means, obviously the cool part about that is when you have a virtual event, that means also you get the data faster, because otherwise you're waiting for, I've been in the media. When you go to like these events, bro, imagine you've been there. You go there, you're recording all this video, then you're in a hotel room with crappy Wi-Fi trying to edit and upload a video. Yeah. That's the craziest, dude. That's not cool. And so I kind of like the digital event. I think it's going to make it a lot less stressful for guys like you who are trying to create this content for people to be able to see it and be able to talk about new products. I think that's going to be an advantage.
And this is exactly what I've been doing for the last couple of months. It's the weekly streaming to get me used to it, so that I can actually do the virtual events much easier, get accustomed to it, see how the chat works, see how the screen works, see how the switching of the different speakers and stuff like that, so that we can get a smoother experience for our viewers. And the content wise, well, it's live, so you can actually see the stuff live without having me spending time to edit this and edit that. It's just there on a dish ready for you to just consume.
But the other thing is you're at home with your good internet, so you don't have to try to do it like in a hotel room where you're not used to it, and maybe you don't have your full edit system. You can do all that stuff much easier and I think that's gonna be an advantage for a lot of you guys trying to cover these.
That's right. And plus I'd be able to nicely have a drink when I need to.
Yeah.
All right, so I think we'll wrap it up for this week. So thanks, guys, for watching our live show. It's been great, and love to see more comments. And of course, if you have any topics that you want us to cover, as well as bringing on special guests like Shannon, as well as Mike next week, this is going to be great. And please follow us. Please share the content. Of course, everything helps, and of course, we'll be giving live prize giveaways every week. So, Shannon, any last final words?
Thank you, guys. Thank you for having me. Hopefully I'll be able to share some more cool stuff we're doing as I get more involved here at Be Quiet, and hopefully we can sponsor some cool stuff to get some of our new hardware in hands of the people watching us here.
Great. So thanks, guys, for watching, and hopefully we'll catch you up next week. So thanks, and see you next week. Bye.